Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. Welcome to Luxe Life Discovered. My guest today is Kortney with Kortney Brook Photography. So, Kortney, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is really exciting. First timer here.
I was going to say, you tell me it's your first time to do a podcast, which I was surprised about. So,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
we have a lot of guests that's the first one they've done, and many are nervous before they start, not sure what to expect. And then when they find out videos involved, then they get like, oh, I thought it was just, radio or,
Yeah.
that type thing. And but once you do it, it's fun. I mean, you just get those nerves out of the way in the beginning and just enjoy it. So,
Okay. Show me how it's done. Let's
all
see.
right. So I met you at my bridal show in Fayetteville, Arkansas last spring,
Yeah.
and so glad that you participated in that bridal show because you brought a lot of class to the show, and
Oh.
it was fun to see. I always like photographers because everybody has their own style. So how did you begin your photography career?
Oh, so my children basically is what that boils down to. I had two little girls and I used to be a stay-at-home mom, and circumstances unfolded and I ended up having to go back to work, which I was very blessed with. A great job for in HR for 7 years. It was incredible. It got me through, but my dream was to be back home with my kiddos. So I wanted to do something that you know just that I could earn a living, but be home with them as much as possible. And so quite frankly, I fell into it, if I'm being honest. I picked up a camera out of just a hobbyist. I took pictures with my phone all the time, of course, and then we have all these neat editing apps nowadays. And I play around with editing. And then I told myself, with income tax money, back then, living paycheck to paycheck, you look forward to that income tax return. And I promised myself I was going to get me a quote nice camera. And I did. And so I just started playing with it, honestly. And then I had some coworkers ask me to do a wedding, and then actually had another friend of mine ask me to do her birth. And so that's where it started. It started making money. It was making more than making ends meet. And so I quit my full-time job and I went straight to this.
No, what was it like what were people's reactions when you quit a full-time job to do your passion?
Yeah, I actually still get that when people ask me what I do for a living. It's kind of funny because anywhere you go, that's usually a topic of conversation, right? So, you're out having cocktails, or you're at a business gathering or something here in town, and someone always says, what do you do for a living? And I tell them photographer. It's so funny to watch their full-time photographer, right, at that.
Yeah,
And they're like, so what else do you do?
really.
Like, yeah, like, no, that's it. That's all I do. And they're like, oh, I mean, that's great. Yeah, that's really cool.
Bless your heart. Yeah.
Bless your heart. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I'm like, no, I love it. I'm doing okay. I am making more than I did in HR. So in any corporate job I had.
Well, and I don't think people understand the and of course it depends on the photographer too, but when you're at the higher end and you bring the level of quality of work that you do, I mean,
Mm.
it's a very sought after field because whether it's a wedding, family event or corporate event, they want people there that they know that's going to give them good quality images for their
Yeah.
promotion, just for their viewing.
Yeah. Yeah, and we work so hard to deliver that quality. It is important to me. I was raised, from entrepreneurs myself, my mom and dad both, and my grandfather, my brother. We're all strong entrepreneurs in our family. So it was being raised that way. We were taught strictly to execute, and not just execute anything, but execute quality. So
Right.
that's something that has just been bred into me, and really just nailed down since I was a child.
Well, that's true. It does. So, what is your favorite? type of work to do.
Uh,
Yeah.
funny enough, I know this is going to be another one of those responses, funny responses, but birth. Birth
Really
photography is my passion. Of course, weddings, I love regardless. I'm a faithful woman as well. So I feel like weddings and childbirth are about the closest you can come to staring Jesus in the face, this side of heaven. So yeah, those two things, they have my heart. But man, birth, there's not a whole lot of money to be made in birth because unfortunately it's still considered taboo, I guess, in this part of the country. But if I had, if it paid the bills, I would strictly do birth.
interesting.
Love it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm I just that's surprised. I mean, that's yeah, interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't expect that. I've never had anybody say that before. So that's
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not, it's a very unique craft. And again, don't get me wrong, golly, I can do weddings in my sleep and I love doing weddings. Again, even though not one single wedding is ever alike, which is what I love about it, because I work great under pressure. And I just love to see everyone's, unique spin on love and tradition and culture. And I love cultivating those things. So I love weddings, but again, I mean, it just birth, there is something about it that it captured my heart from the very first one, and I said I'd never stop.
Well, that's interesting. And I can see where the birth doing that would be so rewarding because having been in with all three of my children when they're born, I mean, it's just there's nothing like it.
No,
Now,
no.
do you capture the ladies that like my wife is she's gonna kill me for this, very low key person, very sweet. But during childbirth, I did see a different side of her. So do you capture that as well?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, because we're storytellers ultimately at the end of the day. So our duty is to tell a story exactly how it unfolds. So yeah, I have those moms, very meek and very sweet. But yeah, childbirth, that's a whole new animal.
Well, I'll tell you this one little story. Our second son was born 17 months after our first child. And there were two nurses on duty that had given my first son his bath. And so they were like 30 minutes before their shift ended when my second son was born. And so they stayed over to give Brett his bath when he was born. And so I had talked to them quite a bit and everything. And I asked about their families and everything. And my wife gently reminded me, and I'm just going to put it like that. She was there to have a baby. She was not interested in this. She reminded me this was not a social event.
Priorities, Rick. Come on.
And then when I fell asleep in the chair and she and her sister were walking the halls to try to speed up the labor, and the nurse found her and told her that she covered me up because I looked cold. She's never walked so fast back to her room to uncover me. So
I
I
believe
wish I wish you would have been there for that.
Oh, me
Dang.
too. Absolutely. And I love, yes, I love. And when it's all said and done, because man, I don't know if it's the same way for you dads, but for us moms going through childbirth, it is literally like, I don't know how else to explain it, but like, the adrenaline rush, it's as though like you're on a roller coaster. And then when you get off, you don't even know what just happened. You're just like,
Yeah.
you're stunned. And, you felt all of the dips and hurdles and upside down. You felt all of that, but you get done and you're like, what in the world just happened? It's like you forget everything. The adrenaline just wipes it all clear. So
Right.
it's
Right. That's what
great
my
to
wife said.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great to have
I,
those pictures that, especially, for the moms to look back on because we forget.
oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going through our grandchildren being born now. We've
Oh,
got three grandchildren. One we just found out we're gonna have another one on the way.
oh
And
my God,
it's
congratulations.
fun to watch your children go through it. And you know, it's just an interesting time. So I never thought about the whole photo part of it, video part of it, but really interesting. I wish my children in Cincinnati had done that because they would have been perfect for that.
Dumped on it. Yeah. I I love it is my goal to honestly get the word out more in this part of the country. In bigger cities, Oklahoma City, it's big. Springfield is kind of picking up, Northwest Arkansas a little bit, but really just bringing it in from the coast and making people understand. I mean, if we're documenting our weddings, right? We're documenting graduation, we're documenting, why aren't we documenting our childbirth? The
Yeah.
birth of our children, it's like those are things that you can't redo, just like a wedding.
Well,
So
don't you think most people think immediately it's like the actual childbirth? Oh, we don't want to see that.
absolutely.
That probably is, yeah, that's
Yep.
probably the first thing they think of. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what people don't understand too, and I get it because, we do this all the time. But like I didn't know as a mom, I didn't know that photography was an option. I wish somebody would brought that to me because I absolutely hands down would have had it. Um, but what, people don't understand is we can document as modestly as you want. We're professionals.
Right.
So, and when we study birth photography and things like that in that realm, that's a very, very sacred space. It's a lot like weddings. I mean, weddings are sacred too, but those are shared with all of your loved ones. So with birth photography, it's clearly the opposite. This is a very sacred space, right? So we're very trained in that department. I team with on Angel's Wings as well. And that's something I'd love for everyone to look into. But for like bereavement, we do birth, we do stillborn, we do all kinds of
Oh,
things.
wow.
Again, we're trained professionals to handle those types of atmospheres, and again, to do it as modestly as you choose.
Okay, not to sound stupid here, but so people with their children stillborn, they
Yeah,
want to capture that too. So yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And of
I just
course,
hadn't thought about it. That's interesting.
right.
Yeah.
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 And not a lot of people do, but as someone who has lost a child in utero, I would have given anything to have pictures of even my pregnancy. Even, we do that too. If we know that the baby is not going to make it this side, earth side, we'll do like maternity photo shoots and stuff like that. So anything that we can do to help capture and document that season in life, because regardless, it's still a life. So
Well,
it's important to document that, and so that the parents have those.
so are you working with a lot of families that you've done their weddings?
I do. So
That would be, I just thought how cool. Because
yes.
it gives you them an extra sense of trust and familiarity with you and openness, and it just makes it would make you more comfortable, I would think. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. That is the goal, right? So when we do weddings for couples, my goal is to be with them forever. So I've got actually a client, she's due here in January. I did their engagement, wedding, um, let's see, boudoir. I did their maternity, childbirth, all of their milestones. So 3, 6, 9, and 12 months. And now we're going
Yeah.
through with their second child as well. We're getting ready to do maternity next month, and then we'll do childbirth in January. So yeah, when you hire a photographer, that's what I tell people, especially wedding photographers. But when you hire a wedding photographer, you're stuck with us for life. Like,
I see
let's
that.
just
Yeah.
be honest, because we're the only vendors that really carry through with them beyond the wedding day. There's so many vendors that do such amazing and special work, but they lead up to
He
that
is that.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the only vendors that stick around afterwards.
Well, that's interesting. I've never thought of it like that, but it does
Yeah,
make sense. Yeah. So you do videography as well as a photography, right?
we do. I don't. I have an
Right.
amazing team for that. But yes, we do offer videography as well. We have a team, Trey and CJ. They've been with Kortney Brook for about 2.5 years, 2.5, 3 years, maybe even. We might be on the
And
third
most
year.
brides today want the photo and video team be to a dual unit and
Yeah.
not separate because of the way
Yeah.
you work together, that type of thing, which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. There's a place for both. Photography, you're going to hang that on your wall. You're going to blow that up, put it on your mantle. Videography, I tell you, as a bride myself, video, I will sit and watch that once a week. I will play back the video. So there's a place and time for both. They're both to me equally as important.
Okay. And then also with your, I know you've got some photography, videography, but you do more than just that with your business. Or you have another business with the hair and makeup, right?
We do. Like I said, I was born of entrepreneurs, so I, for whatever reason, don't know how to slow down. So I saw a need. I've had brides come to me. I have a preferred vendors list. And I work alongside so many amazing vendors regularly. Rick, you do too. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
some great professionals out there. And so I'm like, why not just bring it under one roof? And so then they don't have to worry about multiple contracts, contacting multiple people and all that stuff. So we take care of all of that on the back end. So literally we do photo, video, hair, makeup, bridal boudoir, and Rick, this is breaking news. You don't even know this yet.
All
But
right.
we've also added a DJ under our roof too.
Okay. Well, good. So you've got it
Yeah.
all. Well, the hair, makeup, and the photography, that all is that's just so important because what better way to have you doing the photography or the videography, whichever, or both, and then touch ups, capturing the right, look that may not be there when they come to you. You can take care of all that. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, we just found it was going hand in hand. I had so many brides asking me, like who do you recommend for hair and makeup? Who do you recommend? So I just got two of the best in town, in my opinion. I could be a little biased, but I just got two of the best in town. And they've each been with us for hair's been with us for I want to say about 8 months. And then she's the newest to our team, and then other than the DJ. And then makeup has been with us for about 3 years as well. So I think we've got a pretty stand-up team. I love this team. They work magic, and they take, again, I founded this company on minimalism and communication, and simplicity. And so we want to make it as easy as possible for my brides and my grooms, but let's be
Right.
honest, it's mainly the brides, okay? But we want to make it as easy as possible on them. So we've just started offering, again, they can buy or they can purchase as a standalone service, or they can purchase us the whole team for everything. It's completely, we leave it up to them.
So what made you decide to bring a DJ on?
Funny, that actually fell right in my lap. I hired an assistant recently, and it just so happens that she is engaged to a great DJ here in town that I've worked alongside. I actually met my assistant through him.
Okay.
And so she's like, we both sat down and, we're at work one day and we're hustling and anyway, and I said, wait, I've been wanting to talk to you about something, but I don't know how you'll feel about this. I said, how do you feel about bringing TJ on the team? Like, why haven't we done this sooner? And she's like, funny you mentioned that, because he and I just had the talk about 3 days ago, and he asked me why we don't too.
So it worked
I'm like,
out well. Yeah.
oh, it's a no-brainer then. Let's go.
Right, right. Well, that's great. So you do the weddings, you do the births. What about corporate events? Do you like corporate events?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm actually doing a giveaway right now. I can't believe I haven't had anyone jump on this. But I've started doing a whole lot more corporate work.
Okay.
Corporate events, yes, I have done corporate events, but also headshots, commercial,
Right.
professional headshots. So I'm doing a giveaway right now for anywhere within, traveling radius, but free corporate headshots for the entire corporation.
Oh,
So
wow.
completely free. And I have, I'll
And
send you,
no one's jumped on it yet?
nobody's jumped on it. No, I can't
I
believe
think
this.
it's because it sounds too good to be true.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Genuinely, the only
Like,
thing
what's the gimmick? Yeah.
yeah, the
You
only
know,
thing I'm asking for is credit. Obviously, just giving me photo credit. That's it. But
yeah.
we want to get into more corporate work. We want to reach more corporations. So I do love commercial work. So headshots mainly. I don't do a whole lot of product. I can, but I love doing commercial work. As a professional myself, I understand the importance of professional headshots and branding. So it's just something I've been taking classes on it, and I really want to excel at. So I'm legitimately giving away free corporate headshots.
That is awesome. And
Get
they
a
can go
hold
to
of me right here.
right, right. Okay, we'll have your information up in just a minute so people can
Yeah.
contact you. So remind us again at that time too. But yeah, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
what area do you cover? You're based out of Springfield,
I'm based out
right?
of Joplin, actually. We do cover
Okay.
Springfield. Yeah. So I'm out of Joplin, Missouri. So very southwest corner. But Northwest Arkansas, Springfield, Tulsa, Kansas City, um, Oklahoma, like really we're right here on all four corners. So we can go just
Right.
about anywhere. But we do also, we do elopements and things like that as well. So destination, I'm happy to even do corporate work destination wise. I'm very educated. I'm ready. I'm literally sitting on launch, ready to go, ready for someone to press the button. But no, we're new to the corporate side of things, so we understand it's going to take a little bit of marketing to get us out there. But this is a great opportunity. So if you know of anyone, Rick,
All right, I will because there's some people in the Northwest Arkansas area that I'm going to reach out to about your headshots that could
nice,
be really open up some doors. So
love
yeah.
that. Thank you.
Well, it's what it's all about, networking and
Yeah.
having people on that I believe in and that who I know deliver a good product, whether it's photography or whatever area we're in. But you in particular, I've been impressed with you from day one. So
That
yeah.
means so much to me, Rick. And we are so grateful for the opportunity that we had to meet you. You bring a whole new level to weddings, to expos, to bridal expos. I mean, talk about professionalism. So we are so humbled to work alongside you, and be given this opportunity even here, sitting here today. So thank you
uh,
so much.
More than welcome. I'm looking forward to you guys being with us again in February 23rd at the
Yeah,
SET Bridal Show in Fayetteville again. The Stonebreaker Inn and Barn is
excited.
that's I did a wedding there 3 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long ago. And we would originally were doing the wedding at Crystal Bridges for 500, and then COVID hit. So then we had to reduce the number, and then they came back and we had to reduce the number of guests even lower. And then they came back and said, we're not sure we're going to reopen by that point. So then we're like a month away from paying the final payment to all the vendors, and the bride's mother was like, "We have to find a new location." And
Well,
well,
I
great. So
remember those days. Yeah.
yeah. And so then we got everything worked out with Crystal Bridges. They refunded everything. Super, super great group to work with.
Yeah.
And so then I told the mother I'd be up that next week and we'd look for a venue. And she called me 2 days later and she said, "We're going to have it at Pratt Place Inn and Barn, or Pratt Place Inn." And it's an old antebellum home they've converted to a bed and breakfast. She was telling me we'd have the reception out back and or rehearsal dinner on site, reception outdoor. And I said, "What about the ceremony?" And I said, "We're going to rent a tent for that." She goes, "No, they have a barn." And I'm thinking, a barn? I'm used to Kentucky, like Louisville and Lexington, where the barns where the horses live nicer than I live, or a barn where I grew up in Arkansas that has like a dirt floor. And then also I'm pouting because it's not at Crystal Bridges. And
Right.
so I said, "What kind of barn are we talking about?" And she told me, and I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, just know that we're going to spend part of the money we got from Crystal Bridges on draping." And she's like, "What are we draping?" I said, "The inside of the barn." And she goes, "Why?" I said, "Because I don't want to know I'm in a barn."
Right.
And
Right.
so now that this new couple, this new ownership has come in, because they closed right after that for renovation. They renovated the main house. They've added like a 4-story hotel, 2 infinity pools, completely revamped the barn to one like I'm used to in Kentucky. And so I'm looking forward to it. So that's where we're doing the bridal show to kind of for a big promotion for them.
Okay.
And
So
so
they've
it's gonna be a lot
completely
of fun.
remodeled.
Oh, everything. Yeah. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to go up in a couple of weeks to see what progress has been made because it's going to be amazing. The whole setup is very impressive. So Yeah. So,
Wow. Oh, I'm so excited. We had such a great time with you over at the Grand
yeah.
and all of the vendors that day. Again, you bring just a whole new level of professionalism to the industry. So we're excited. We're excited for the next show.
Oh, thanks. And the young ladies from the brand, they're going to have a booth at my bridal show, so they'll be there. So we have still a good relationship with them, and
Awesome.
that place is absolutely stunning. I mean,
Oh,
that's
it is.
it's unreal.
It is. Yeah, we run specials specifically if people book that venue. We run specials for that venue just because we love it so much.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't ask for a better layout. I mean, everything was so well thought out and
Yep.
designed, and so yeah. Well,
Yep.
good. Well, listen, thank you so much for being with us today. And
Oh.
I loved everything that we covered. So you were worried about what we would talk about, and we didn't have any problem at all.
Well,
So
I appreciate you. Oh my gosh. Thanks for just making this feel just comfortable and relaxed because yeah, this girl, like I said, there's a reason I'm on the other side of the lens and I am
yeah,
all
that brings up something I was going to tell you. You said you're not technically, savvy, but for you to do all your your computers and everything you have to do with the photo and editing, you're much more than you think. So
took a
yeah,
lot of years, a lot of years. I can't even say a lot of hours, a lot of
yeah.
years to learn that
Well,
stuff.
sure, yeah. All right, well, we're going to put your information on the screen so that when people want to contact you, they'll have all your information right here, your company name, your email address, your website,
Perfect.
and
Yeah.
then remind people about the headshot giveaway.
Yes, I am literally giving away corporate headshots. I drive to you. I bring all the equipment. I bring everything. I am giving this away. It's got to be a corporation of over 20 people. Get a hold of me right down here. I feel like I'm on American Idol, and I'm like, vote
Right.
for me. Uh,
That's what they call me. Yeah.
Anyway, get a hold of me. Seriously, literally giving it away for free. There is no catch whatsoever. We're just looking to get into the corporate world. So give me a call.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much for being with me today. I've
Thank you.
enjoyed this.
Thank you, Rick. Truly. Thank you so much.
And that concludes our episode of Luxe Life Discovered. See you soon.